the betrayal of Chuba, and the wrath of the Guardian. In the heart of Kerala, deep within a vine-wrapped ruin known only to royal blood, Princess Nava stood before the forgotten temple of Erumal. Tiger Raja waited beside her, golden eyes sharp, the Amulet of Surya glowing on her chest. Brushing away moss from an ancient altar, Nava uncovered a brittle scroll marked with the seal of the ancients. She read aloud, "There lies a flame that burns beyond time, not of heat, but of truth, the eternal flame." Raja growled low, already understanding. "If we find it," Nava whispered, "we may finally have the power to destroy Tsuroko." Nava's eyes narrowed. "There's no time to lose," she turned to Raja. "Send messengers north. Tell Among, meet me at the temple of the eternal flame. We are only a day apart. We must unite now, or be swallowed by shadow." Hours later, the messengers thundered through the jungle, pushing their steeds to the limit. By nightfall, they reached Princess Among just as her army crossed into Kerala's shadowed borders. One dismounted and delivered the message breathlessly. "Princess, a flame beyond time has been found. Nava waits for you at the temple of the eternal flame." Among's jaw tightened. "We march now," she said. As they marched, Among confided quietly to Zulu, "I sent Chuba ahead as an emissary, not just to speak for me, but to help Princess Nava understand our people, the Naga way, our customs, our values. Chuba and I, we were like sisters once." Zulu said nothing but gave a soft nod, his eyes glinting with caution. The traitor in the circle. Far to the south, deep in the kingdom of Kerala, Princess Nava and her army arrived near the outskirts of the sacred temple of the eternal flame. The temple's towering stones glowed faintly in the distance, humming with ancient power. Nava ordered her soldiers to set camp just beyond the flame's sacred boundary, where the jungle and the divine met under the watchful stars. Among the campfires and tents stood Chuba, sent days earlier by Princess Among as an emissary of peace. She had walked beside Nava's people, shared tales of the Naga mountains, their rites of passage, their warriors, their ancestors. Chuba had even spoken of Among's childhood, the way she trained with the fireblade, the legends of her homeland, her hopes for alliance. To most, she had been a symbol of trust, but Tiger Raja never trusted her. His golden eyes followed her every step. His ears flicked at her words. There was something beneath her smile he did not believe. That night, the camp lay quiet, the jungle winds carrying the faint flicker of temple firelight. Nava sat alone in her tent, the Amulet of Surya resting against her chest, its glow gentle. Her twin blades rested nearby. Tiger Raja lay outside the tent's entrance, still as stone. Just before dawn, Nava stepped out into the dim light to retrieve a scroll from her satchel. She was unguarded, unarmed. And that was when it happened. A whisper of fabric, a glint of silver. Chuba struck from the shadows, dagger drawn, eyes full of fury. But before the blade could find its mark, Tiger Raja erupted into motion. With a roar that shattered the silence, he barreled into Chuba, knocking her violently away from Nava. The dagger sliced a line across the princess's shoulder, but the fatal strike had been stopped. The roar echoed across the camp. Tents rustled, soldiers stirred. Within moments, Nava's guards surrounded her. Some drew weapons, others moved instinctively to form a wall of protection. From across the camp, the two messengers who had come south with Chuba ran toward the chaos. Nava stood behind Raja, staring at the woman who had once been a symbol of unity. "Why?" Nava gasped, stepping behind Raja. Raja stepped forward, his eyes burning with divine fire. "Wait," Nava said firmly. "Touch my hand, Chuba." "What?" "Touch it," she repeated. "Let Raja speak to you through me." Chuba hesitated then, with a sneer, placed her hand against Nava's. The Amulet of Surya ignited with radiant light. Raja stepped forward and placed his forehead against their joined hands. When he spoke, his voice echoed not in sound, but in Chuba's mind. It was the voice of the Guardian. "I have seen your heart, Chuba of the Nagas," Raja said, his voice echoing with ancient power and buried fury. "You were chosen to be a bridge between worlds, but you became a blade in the dark, a butcher of the innocent." Chuba's breath hitched. Her eyes widened, terror blooming behind them. "You stole daughters from your own people, your own blood, and sold them into the jaws of darkness for silver, for greed, for power. You poisoned the hearts of the innocent, turned light into shadow, corrupted what was once pure. The Creator, he who shaped the heavens and carved the earth, has watched in silence. Every cries, every tear, every soul betrayed. He heard them all. He does not forget, and he does not turn away from the cries of the innocent." Chuba began to tremble. "You cannot carry your gold and silver into the next world," Raja's voice thundered. "But your cruelty, your betrayals, they will cling to your soul like rot. Only mercy, only love, only sacrifice can make one rich beyond the veil. And you traded all of it for corruption. Now your soul must answer." Chuba's lips trembled. "No, I didn't..." "Chuba," Raja growled, his voice like distant thunder. "The Creator awaits your return, and I am the hand that sends you." With a roar that shook the earth, Tiger Raja lunged. One strike, one breath, Chuba crumpled, her body still, her sins swallowed in silence. Nava stepped forward slowly, her gaze heavy with sorrow. She knelt by the body of the woman who had once been a bridge between kingdoms. "May the Creator judge you better than I could," she whispered. Her guards watched in silence, not knowing what passed between Chuba and the Guardian. They only heard the commotion and saw the tiger end her life. That evening, Nava stood over Chuba's lifeless form, her jaw set, her eyes cold with quiet fire. Around her, the camp had fallen into stunned silence. The flickering torches cast long shadows, but none dared speak. "She cannot be buried near the flame," Nava said, voice cutting through the hush. "She came here in betrayal. She dies in dishonor." She turned to her captains. "Burn her body before the dawn. Let the fire carry her sins to the wind." Soldiers moved swiftly. No rites were offered. No songs were sung. Only the crackle of fire answered the night. When the flames began to rise, Nava stepped away and called for the two messengers who had journeyed south with Chuba, Among's own trusted riders. They approached quietly, eyes flicking toward the fire. "Take this message back to your princess," Nava said, handing them a sealed scroll. "Tell her Chuba was executed for treason. That is all." They hesitated, shaken, but accepted the scroll with lowered heads. They had seen the fury of a tiger and the judgment that followed. But they had not heard what passed between Chuba and the Guardian, not the voice that thundered through her soul, nor the sentence passed beyond mortal ears. Without another word, they mounted their horses and vanished into the darkness. That night, far to the north, Princess Among reached a high ridge. In the far distance, she saw a faint glow, the fires of the temple of the first flame. "We're almost there," she said to Arjun. Zulu landed beside Among and Tula and changed into a golden lion. "Nava camps near the temple," he whispered. Then, hoofbeats. The messengers arrived at full gallop, their cloaks soaked with jungle dew and smoke. They were the same riders she had sent with Chuba, but now they returned alone. One carried a scroll, sealed, unbroken, heavy with unspoken weight. Zulu stepped forward, golden eyes locked on the riders, muscles tense beneath his fur. He smelled it, grief, guilt, blood. His breath hitched. For the first time, Zulu was afraid. Something was terribly wrong. The jungle held its breath. Among took the scroll but didn't open it. Zulu watched, eyes dark with worry. No words, no explanations, only silence. And in the distance, the fire still burned, to be continued.